All right, guys. Hey there. Happy, what is it, Thursday?
Right.
I feel like every day is the same right about now. We have today, yesterday, and tomorrow. But here we are for our final and last episode of the Eventful Life TV, Living Out Loud. And this is our final episode for this season. We have completed our very first season. And I have to tell you, I am excited about the way that we are closing it out today. I cannot think of a better way and with a better person than to close this episode out with my homegirl, she's been an inspiration to me. She is a fellow mompreneur and just all around, just, can I say it, badass chick. Like she just is, okay? And so I'm excited to have her here to really just sit down, peel back the layers, and talk about her wellness journey. If you haven't heard already, she just released her book, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today as well. And we're just going to talk. We're really just going to dig a little deep, if you guys don't mind today. Because I know that 2020, as we have been saying, has been a year like none other. And so a lot of us have been peeling back the layers. A lot of us have been reflecting inwardly on our journey. And so I thought this was such a great timing for this conversation, and to have Shanae talk about just where it all started and just how this journey began for her. So Shanae, girl, hey!
How are you?
Good. Oh my gosh, you are just over there looking stunning. I'm like, you are giving the people what they want and what they need. And I love it. I love it. So thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. You know I love you.
Girl, I'm sending all that love right back to you, okay?
Yes, we're always talking anyway, so this will be like we're just talking.
That's right. Like we do, right? Just real good conversations, and y'all get to listen in.
Right. Very much. That's exactly what it is.
Yes. So, I want to dive in because we got lots to talk about. So I want to dive in and just start kind of with my first question for you. This year, like I said, it's been a journey in one way or another, for many. And you and I have had this conversation about just the inward reflection that this year has caused for so many, women, entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, and, your wellness journey is something that I know you have been on for more than a year, and you've seen the progression as you have been on this journey. But tell us about how your wellness journey actually started, and how did you find yourself on this, road to fitness?
Right. Yeah. So there's something that I read, and I'm kind of paraphrasing when I say this, but it said that it's better to practice health and wellness as a discipline, not a consequence. So unfortunately, and fortunately for me, I ended up having to practice it as a result of a consequence. So in 2017, I had hit a personal and professional low as far as my business goes. I'm a former full-time journalist, become makeup artist. And I thought at the time that running a successful business meant working nonstop. And that's literally what I was doing. I was working all the time, rarely turning down a booking, just running myself ragged. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm doing this full time. I want my business to be successful. So I just have to say yes to any and everything. And as a result of that, I just found myself being very unhappy with where I was in my business, physically exhausted. I was burnt out, and I've never shared this publicly in terms of where I started when I started my weight loss journey, but I was weighing 278 pounds. and my body was starting to break down. Yes. So I've never, in all the posts I've shared, I've always said I've lost 10 pounds or 5 pounds, but I never shared where I started. And I'm revealing that here today for the first time. So 278 pounds that I'm, holding up on my body. And as a makeup artist, we're working on our feet.
Yeah, you're on your feet all day long.
Yes.
So that is your body holding up that weight all day long.
All day long. And so, granted, I was trying to lose weight then, but not very successful. I was inconsistently working out and, and having just all types of health issues from, cholesterol level going up, high blood pressure going up, joint pain, muscle pain, arthritis, really bad, not sleeping well. And so, it was a couple of days before celebrity booking, and I woke up thinking that I had overslept or that I had slept on my arm wrong. And I went from having a little bit of mobility in my right arm because I am right-handed to no mobility. I could not even raise it and lift it. And so I had to go to the emergency room to find out that it was just a really serious case, flare up of bursitis in my shoulder. Wow. And as a result of that, that low place and that, just pretty much hitting the wall to where I was just physically wrecked. Yeah. That was the impetus for my journey. That's kind of where it started. As I said, it was a consequence of everything that I had done up to that point, the decisions I'd made, the habits that got me to that place, this mindset of thinking I have to work myself to death.
And let me take you back to that, where you said about, I thought to have success, I had to work myself to death. Let's just break that down for a minute.
Yes.
Because we as women, we really think that the harder we go, and I'm preaching to the choir because I had that same hustle mindset, but we think that we have to drive ourselves into the ground in order for us to quote unquote be successful.
Right.
And it's like, how is that even a thing?
Right. I know. Where did it come from?
Girl, we're gonna be book busy and buried beneath the ground. That's what we're gonna do.
Exactly what it's gonna do. Yes.
It's just crazy to me that, like you said, that's what you felt you needed to be doing to be successful, to define your success.
Right, exactly. Being able to say I'm booked all these weekends and I booked this many engagement or, events and weddings, and that was what I measured success by,
Right. As many of us do, incorrectly, but as many of us do. Wow. Wow. Yeah. And so when you hit this wall, like you said, you woke up, you felt this numbing, couldn't move your arm. What was the first thing that went through your mind? Like, were you just like, oh, I'm fine? Or was it like a true wake up call?
It was a true wake up call because I was thinking, here I am having left my career as a journalist to do my business full time, but I'm not going to be able to do that if I'm not taking care of myself.
Right.
How can I sustain this business if I'm not even putting me first and taking care of Shanae? So it truly was a wake up call because I literally could not do makeup. I couldn't, raise my arm, and I'm not ambidextrous. Lucky though.
Right. I can't just switch it up and be like, well, you gonna get this left hand today.
I was like, let me start practicing with my left hand a little bit more in case that ever happens again. But no, I'm just, I'm right hand dominant, so that's just
right.
Depend on a lot. So I physically could not do what I wanted to do, what I left my job to do. So it was always like, okay, well, if you're not going to be able to sustain this business, then something has to change.
Has to change, yes. And I feel like we all have this wake up call in one way or another. And I hope that this is where, women in business and mompreneurs out there who are listening, I hope this is where they can see themselves in your journey, in your wake up call, in this aspect of your journey, because it may not be your arm. Maybe it's that you are starting to feel anxiety, That was part of my story. I was starting to feel anxiety and didn't know what this was that I was feeling.
Right.
But maybe it's that you are starting to lose your hair. Maybe it's that you are, depressed. Maybe it is that, whatever it is for you, we start to see these things and we feel them, but we don't always acknowledge them right away until we have to, right? I'm like, you either gonna learn by revelation or you gonna learn by tribulation, but one way you gonna learn.
You're gonna learn, exactly. And that's one of the things I talk about in the introduction of the cookbook, is where this guy that I quote, he says, like, the key to lasting behavior and motivation requires you making the habit a part of your identity.
Yeah.
And as your identity basically emerges out of your habits.
Yeah.
Every action is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So in that moment where I have worked myself to death, I saw exactly the type of person who I had become. A workaholic. I didn't love myself enough to take care of myself. I saw every step, every habit, every action that led to me being in that place. And it was just very clear, like, this is who I've become. This is Shanae.
Right.
And from that moment, it was just like, no, something has to change. This is not me. I don't want this to be me.
Wow. So, that's deep. It's like you saw yourself.
Yes.
And who you have become. And, I think that's so powerful because sometimes it takes for us to see ourselves like, how did I get here?
How did I get here?
Yeah.
And being willing to admit how you got there. And not glazing over it and not, and not ignoring it, but being willing to sit in that, and which is what I had to do. Yes.
And you and I talk about the sit in it part, because Lord knows we were trying to run from it. We're like, no. I want to face it. I want to deal with that right now, or we like, I don't have time to deal with that right now.
Exactly.
But being able to sit in it, there's something to that.
Absolutely.
So let's hold on. Let me check real quick and see if we have any questions, y'all. I told Shanae I was gonna try to get y'all's questions out here.
I have people texting me asking me if I'm doing the live, so they're not seeing me on my page.
They're not seeing it.
No, they're not.
Okay, because you're tagged in it. Let's see.
Okay, hold on. Let me bear with us, you guys.
Yeah, bear with us, because I want to make sure we're getting all this goodness to all the people.
So when you tag me in it, am I supposed to do something?
No, it should just pop up on your page. Do you see it on your page? Like if you go to your page right now, do you see it?
Okay. It could be something in my notifications. I don't know.
And I don't think you have to accept it.
See it.
I know. Hold on. Let me. Because we break so that we could take some questions.
Right.
But if they can't see it, then we can't take no questions. Hold on, let's see here.
I don't see that I've been tagged.
Okay, so I know people are seeing it because I see people waving. Hey, Dakisha.
Okay.
Janelle Bailey King, it's common with women to feel like we need to overcompensate, be client thirsty, and overexhausted to feel worthy of success. Yes, Janelle, that's good. That is good.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me do this. Let me go in and see if I can tag you again. Yeah, it's tagged.
It is tagged.
But let me just do something real quick. And see.
Yeah, I had some people say that it's only tagged.
No, it's tagged. So I'm like, why is it not? I wonder if I had to do with.
Good. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me do this. Let me go in and see if I can tag you again. Yeah, it's tagged.
It is tagged.
But let me just do something real quick. Okay.
I had some people say that it's only tagged. Okay, I'm gonna add it to my post.
So I'm like, why is it not? I wonder if I had to do with. Good. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me go in and see if I can tag you again. Now I can hear me. Let me just do something real quick. Okay.
I just shared to my timeline. Let me see if it'll let me share it live.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay, I just shared it to my timeline. So
you did?
Yeah.
Okay, so now they should be able to see, because that's what I was about to do, is see if I could share it and then tag you again. But if you shared it to your timeline, then it should show up.
I did. Okay. I'm going to have my friend try now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Robin said she had to go to my page. She didn't see it on your page. That's so weird because I tagged you.
Have them see if they can come to my page and see me now. I shared it there, so it should still be live. Try now. Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Robin said she had to go to my page. She didn't see it on your page. That's so weird because I tagged you.
Okay. Have them see if they can come to my page and see me. I shared it there. So all right.
I hear an echo now.
Yeah. Let me mute this. Sorry. Okay. All right.
Okay. So
technical difficulties. This is live.
I know exactly. That's what happens when you go live. She said yes.
Okay, it's on my.
Okay, Nicole said I see it on both pages. Yes, thank you. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys.
Thank you for your patience.
Yes. Listen, we want to be great.
We do.
Okay, Janelle says it's on her page. Thank you guys. Thank you for confirming. Okay, so we were moving into our next question. So I want to keep us moving along here. Many times we think we must diet. I want to start talking about the food part of your journey because everything started with kind of the movement part at first, which I think that is beautiful that you share that in your book because it's good to know like where you started, kind of how you pace yourself. And I know you talked about pacing is important, right?
Yes.
But one of the aspects that I've read, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the things I've read is that fitness is 20% of wellness, but that the eating mindfully is the 80%. And ooh, child, when I say I struggle with that, I like good food, okay? And so how did you redefine your relationship with food through your wellness journey? Let's talk about that. And where did the inspiration for your recipes in your book, Fresh and Indulgent Eats, come from? So I want to share that with the people out there.
Right. So going back to that 80%, 20%, I do agree with that. I do think that, if you're someone who's trying to get healthier and well, and if you're trying to lose weight, that 80% of that is what we eat, how we eat. And then the 20% might be the fitness. Yeah. But many times when we think about diet, and this is for me, when I think about all the attempts that I tried to lose weight in the past, it was always restrictive and it was always very limiting in terms of what I was allowed to eat. And it drove me nuts.
Yes.
Because I just felt like I really could not enjoy my life, and I really just could not enjoy being out and around people and going to gatherings because it was always this pressure of I'm on this diet, so I can't have that. I can't have that. Or if I tasted something that I wasn't supposed to have, I just felt guilty about it.
Right.
Or, okay, then I'm gonna weigh in next week and I'm gonna be up a pound because I, messed up. It was just this pressure that I always felt following any specific plan, and I just got sick of it. I just got sick of it. Yeah. And so
it's so restrictive.
And I just, there's something I read that said your diet should support your lifestyle, not keep you from enjoying it.
Yes.
Bring that to the masses for the however long I'm here, because it finally clicked for me that yes, the way my diet, and what I mean by diet is how I fuel my body, not a particular diet, not a particular weight loss plan, not a particular nutrition plan, but how I fuel my body. The choices that I'm making, what I'm deciding to eat should support my lifestyle, not keep me from enjoying it. So for me, I started to redefine my relationship with food. It wasn't until 5 months into the journey. So I started out walking, as you know, just very organically. And then about 5 months in, I started working with a nutritionist, and I want to shout out to Beth Johnson, who you know as well.
Yes,
but working with her was like a great foundation for me to start becoming more mindful about how I fed my body, and just really thinking about my relationship with food. Stories that I used to tell myself when it came to food and like things I can't have, the guilt that I used to have when I enjoyed a piece of dessert or had, a piece of cake. I mean, all of that started with mindset. And I know we hear the word mindset a lot, but that really is mindset and personal development really is the foundation of this journey. And that's for me, I had to, kind of start on the inside and just think about, what I am eating and why I'm eating it. And then these are 3 questions I'm going to share in terms of when I'm getting ready to eat something, what I'm asking myself. Is the food going to increase my energy level? Is it going to make excellent building material for my body temple? And have a whole just respect for my body and truly what it does for us. And then this last one, is it going to cure any disease or prevent a disease?
Oh, that's good, Shauna. You got to say those again. Say those again. Okay, did y'all get that? Drop those in the, if y'all didn't get that, y'all need to drop those in the, I can repeat it for everybody to get.
Yep. So is the food going to increase my energy level? Is it going to make excellent building material for my body temple?
Yes.
And is the food going to help cure any disease or prevent disease? And when we think about what we're eating, if we think about that last question, I think it'll make you pause a lot and just, really start to become more mindful. Okay, what is this food going to ultimately do for me?
Yes. Yeah. I think that last one is so powerful because oftentimes we are just eating, like we're just putting food in our mouth, because it's savory or even because it's just what we want at that time. We don't give it that depth in thought of what is this going to contribute to my body or help my body fight against. And I love that. I love that. The very first time I heard you say that, I think we were talking, the very first time I heard you say that, I said, ooh, I felt some kind of way because I was like, did he just read me? I was like, because I sure don't do that.
Client this morning came for makeup and I told her that and she was just like, ooh, that last one. She was like, I wasn't ready for that one.
Right.
I know.
It's, because we don't, but I love that because it was part of that has helped me, shape how I look, how I look at food. And then I love that you also are like, you know what? It's not about being restrictive. It's about the food supporting you. And I think that is so important as well.
Definitely. And that's what I want people to get. It's like, I've been on every diet under the sun, which I share in the book. I tried everything and this time had to be different. So it is about how is the food supporting you. Yeah. And so with that being said, you had asked about like the inspiration to the book. So people started to see, the change, the turnabout that was happening as far as me physically and just everything that I started to share. And they would ask like, how did you figure out what to eat? Like, what are you eating? I would post pictures because I love posting pictures.
Yes, girl. You already know you are magic with the camera. So when you post those pictures, I'll be like, that food look good.
So it really was just like people just kind of reaching out organically. And so I started thinking I wanted to support people in some kind of way.
Yes.
I would share recipes here and there. I would say, here it is. But I really wanted to support people in some kind of way with a tool or a resource that would support them if they are also trying to live healthy and well. And so that really was an inspiration. It just really happened naturally, just on social media, just sharing my journey and sharing with people. And that really is the first, how this cookbook kind of was birthed.
But that's a beautiful thing, that it just happened organically. And I love that is how it came to fruition.
Right.
It's just naturally because everything about your journey has been that way. It has just happened naturally and organically.
Yes.
And you just look so joyful. Girl, I was like, oh my God. Look, y'all, I told her, I said, don't get me out here crying, okay?
Right. We almost had a moment before we came on live.
Right. Because she looked beautiful. Oh my goodness. And your light is shining. So it is no wonder that, this journey, your journey has been an inspiration. It really has. And y'all get this cookbook because it is amazing. Okay. Yes. Yes. It is going to change your world. Okay. Listen, I'm already excited because I'm like, you mean I don't have to cook the same things over and over again?
Exactly. And speaking of that, I just kind of want to share too, just, the reasons why or what I'm hoping that people get from the book.
Yes.
One, I love to cook simple, flavorful, healthful foods. I'm showing how food fueled my sustainable weight loss, and like real food. I don't count calories. I don't weigh stuff out. I don't, I just kind of eyeball my meals, and, eating real food, eating in color. I love bright, colorful food. It really has allowed me to maintain this weight loss. It's been 3 years. I've continued to lose every year. I've never gained any weight back. And then I'm also showing in the book that, the food doesn't have to be complicated, because I don't like cooking all day. I don't want to
all them ingredients.
Right.
And like, go get some, chamomile. And I'm like, but I don't even use that.
So and then the last thing I want people to know is that you can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Well, I do have that indulgent section. And even with that, it's like, well, how did that help you lose weight? And I really want people to understand the bigger picture, and that because I have allowed myself to just enjoy food and to not feel so restricted, I no longer would sabotage myself. I would never feel guilty when I did have something sweet, and then I would go and just eat all the rest of the stuff because I'm guilty, so I might as well just eat all of it now anyway.
Right.
So it really just finding that balance and being able to enjoy life, that has helped me to lose weight. These recipes, including the ones that are the caramel cheesecake and the chocolate chip cookies, because
can we go back to the caramel cheesecake? Because that's my favorite.
But it's like just having that balance me to lose the weight. So absolutely.
Yes. And what I think what we also don't understand about ourselves is that half of what we do is mindset.
It is.
Like, majority of what we do is mindset. And even when it comes to eating, like you said, it's like, if you are telling yourself you can't have something, then what are you going to do? You're going to want it even more. Right? So it's like, no, don't tell yourself you can't have it. Have the conversation of, like you said, about, okay, I can have this, especially if it brings you joy. Like that. If it brings you joy, have it. But have it and then move on.
And with the whole guilt thing, I just want to say guilt is lazy energy. It doesn't change the past, and it doesn't help the future. So if there is something that you have had guilt about, let it go.
Let it go.
And another tip I want to share with people, speaking about the 80%, 20%, when you think about your meals, this is something that I also try to do. Take 10 meals. 80% of those meals, my meals are on point, with the vegetables, with the lean protein, with the, complex carb, whatever that is. The other 20%, maybe that's where I have a piece of dessert. Maybe that's where I have an extra fat, extra piece of fat, whatever the case. But 80% of your meals should be the best that they can be. And then 20%, that leaves you room to indulge. And so that's kind of another strategy that's worked for me too.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so Shanae, I'm going to take off my Jon'll hat and I'm going to put on my Brene Brown hat, okay? Because y'all know I love me some Brene Brown. I love her. She really is just thought-provoking. She's right on time. She was created for such a time as this, I think.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna put on my Brene Brown hat because I want to read you to you. And this was something that, this phrase, so y'all gonna get a little peek into the book. But go get the book. But I'm gonna give you a little taste, because this really, really touched me, and I could see your heart in you sharing this. And we've already talked about before how, and let me say this, how this is not just your ordinary cookbook. Like, this isn't just, your ordinary recipe book. This is a very personal look into your journey. It's like the recipes are like icing on the cake, right? But the cake is your journey. And that's the good stuff. Like, that's the real meaty stuff. So, according to Clear Your Identity Emerges, because of your habits, and every action is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. For as long as I can remember, I've wished to be fit, lose weight, and feel healthy. I took action to become that person. However, years passed before this truly became part of my identity. 6th grade, 12 years old, I joined a weight loss program with my mom, marking the beginning of what felt like a never-ending roller coaster ride to shed pounds. For 30 years, I tried just about everything shy of surgery. Weight loss centers, fad diets, pills, injections, prepackaged foods, special drinks, shakes, smoothies, personal trainers, and the list goes on. Success was always short lived. If habits affect your identity, why didn't mine produce the person I wanted to be? Girl,
I'm welling up with tears. I'm not gonna try to cry.
that right there, that got me. That's the that's your vulnerability showing. Why didn't these things produce the person I wanted to be? And so I know we talked about how you had the physical run into the wall with your arm, but what was the mental awakening? What was the mental awakening for Shanae? Like, this is it. Like, I can't do this anymore.
I realized that I was just out of alignment with, when I'm a woman of faith, so out of alignment with God and my mind, my body, my spirit. It was just all out of alignment, all over the place. And that, being outside, and when I started walking, that peacefulness, that stillness, that calmness allowed me to see myself, to see things that I would not have seen on this constant grind, on this hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
I started to pray more, to meditate more, to read more things that were feeding my spirit. And it just started this like spiritual awakening. It really did, this enlightenment to just this bigger picture in terms of what I was wanting to do. I wanted to heal my whole self.
Yeah.
Not just focus on a number, not just focus on what the scale says. I wanted to heal my whole self. And in the past, that was never the case. Yeah. In the past, it was always, let me lose weight to get in this dress. Let me lose weight because I got this event coming up and I want to look good. Let me lose weight so I can, it was always, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a goal like that, but it was never about the whole picture. It was very singular.
It was never about you.
It was never about me.
It was about fitting into something else. It wasn't about you.
Thank you. You made that even more clear. But it was always something else. And so this time, it was truly about me. And that has been the difference. That has been like, I'm going to take this walk and nothing is going to keep me from it. This is my time. No excuses. No, I can't do that because I'm doing this for me. No, I'm making time for me. And that has been the difference. It was for me.
Yes.
I put myself first. You can call it selfish. I don't care.
No. It is, girl, listen. Okay, listen, put you first. Put you first all day. And we all need that. We all need to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay to put you first because the abundance flows from putting you first, not last.
Yes. And what I have seen manifest in my life has been the result of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the difference.
And it has been beautiful to watch. Absolutely beautiful to watch. I love it. And, it is watching you more so on this mental journey that made me redefine and was a component of me really stepping into my self-mastery as well. So thank you, sis.
Absolutely. Because we have talked about that.
Yes. Okay, so because we're not trying to get tissues right now, I'm gonna move into the next question. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait, let me see if we have any questions out here. Because I can see them, but then I can't see them too. Wait. Okay, so Kim said 99% of what we do is mindset because whatever you believe is accurate, be it positive or negative. Yes.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Let me just see if I didn't miss anybody else. So Robin asked, do you meal prep every week? Let's grab that question before we move into the last question.
So I do meal prep sometimes, but it's not this thing where I'm like, okay, if Sunday's here, I'm meal prepping for the week. Mentally in my mind, I have an idea of what I want to cook for the week.
Right.
So I'm sure that, if I'm going to the grocery store, that I have those things that I need.
Right.
Kind of plan out what the week is going to look like. But come like Sunday, I don't like have a bunch of Tupperware containers, with my food in there. Although some people do that, but that's just not something that I do. But for
Right.
me, so like I'm planning to make these meals this week so that me and my family can eat.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody does it differently,
Right. Exactly. And it's depending on the time you have and, things like that. But finding what works for you is
Yeah.
most important.
And another thing that has helped do is to, when I was not doing that, we found ourselves eating out more. And a lot of times those choices weren't the best choices.
Right.
So if you're not physically like preparing meals and put them in Tupperware things, for me, mentally knowing I'm planning to cook this week,
Yeah.
is a benefit.
Yeah. And I will say, one of the things that being in this pandemic has really helped me with is the fact that we aren't going out to eat as much, so I'm forced to, in a good way, to cook and also see the ingredients that I am putting in my food, because that's an option right now, so it's really helped me, look at things differently in that regard too.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. It's been a blessing, and this pandemic is.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, I'm like, wow, there are many things that have been to the detriment, and don't get me wrong, a lot of people have suffered, and we've definitely had some heavy burdens.
Right.
There have been some great blessings that have come out of this, and sis, you and I, we it done saved us. So Alma said, do you cook one way for yourself and another way for your family? That's a great question.
Great question. And the answer is no.
No.
No. It's so funny because when I started like cooking more and just eating healthier, my husband ended up losing 10 pounds. He was not trying to lose weight.
Go ahead, Doug.
Himself one day, he was like, I have lost 10 pounds. He's like, I'm not trying to lose weight. I was like, oh my God. But because of how I was cooking, he was benefiting from that without even trying to. So
that's so good.
Amazing to see that. But my kids, I have gotten them. They know that, when mommy's cooking, you have to eat some of this. So granted, it's hard to get them to eat the vegetables because I love vegetables. But they still eat what I eat. And there may be a few exceptions for the twins because they're 9 years old and they're a little pickier.
Yeah.
In general, no, they eat what I eat and what we eat. And
yeah.
Sometimes I may make some like lasagna for them because I don't do a lot of pasta, but sometimes I make lasagna spaghetti for them, and I may have some, but it's just not how I, really eat now. But
right. Yeah. And I mean, they are getting used to a way of living, like a way of eating and a way of living. So I love that you have also your family has kind of drank the Shanae Kool-Aid, because now they're like, yes, we love this. Like, give us some more of those Brussels sprouts and give us some more.
Just over the weekend, Carrington was like, can we stop by the store and get the stuff that you used to make your chicken apple goat cheese salad so I can take it in my lunch next week?
Oh, wow.
Sure can.
Okay.
I'm like, I will stop by this store.
Absolutely.
Because you have asked for a salad to take for lunch.
You're like, I'm out here winning. I'm winning. That is so good.
Request a salad for lunch?
Yes.
Yeah, we've made some great changes.
That is so good. That has to make you proud, because there is nothing better than seeing your children adopt healthy living early, right? Because we had to learn it so late, or we adopted these things so late, I think. But seeing them adopted early is just a beautiful thing.
It is. And then Winston just like, can you make your kale ramen bowl again? Like him requesting kale.
Yes.
He's super picky one, so.
That is so good. So Alma asked, we're going to do one more question. Alma asked, what motivates you to move and exercise daily?
Oh, this is so good. That's kind of one of the questions we had talked about too. So let me just say this. Motivation comes and goes. And this is something that, our trainer Byron has said and posted. Motivation comes and goes.
Yeah.
Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
That's right.
So I don't always have motivation. I'm not always feeling like today is rainy. I have not worked out today, but I am this evening.
Yeah.
But I don't always have that motivation. So for me, I'm thinking of the bigger picture in terms of everything that I've done and how it's made me feel, how it's made me look. Just the illnesses that I had, that I was dealing with that have self-corrected themselves because I've lost, 100 pounds. That for me, my kids, having them request healthy things, and that is kind of like the motivation for me that kind of keeps me going. And I just feel good. I just really feel good, and working out and moving my body just helps me to feel good. So
yeah. And I'll say another thing that, that I've noticed, Shanae, from your journey is, and this goes back to the motivation part, is that even if you may not feel motivated to, let's say, go do your fitness training, like at boot camp, you will get out and walk, or you will go and run, or you'll do something. And I think that's so key also. So I wanted to point that out and give you a kudos on that, because sometimes we think every day I got to do an hour-long, intense training boot camp, like every single day. And you don't. Like, you just need to move.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because that is very true.
Yeah, because otherwise it goes back to what you said, is like, that's how we sabotage ourselves. Like, oh, well, I didn't get to that, that class today, so there goes that. And it's like, no, but just go outside and walk.
Exactly. Yeah.
I started incorporating my kids, like they want to go out and ride their bike. Okay, let's go out and ride your bike, and I'll run next to you, because that's what we're gonna do today.
Definitely. Yeah. Class has been canceled. Okay, I'm gonna go down here and pull up a YouTube video and do something, So
but that's gonna be for today, right? Like, let's just stick in today and stop, judging ourselves by like the whole week.
Right, exactly. And yes, and be in that moment, which is amazing. Totally.
So that's good. That's very good. Okay, so I'm gonna move into, I don't see any more questions for now. I'm gonna move into our last question. And that is, and it kind of goes back to the motivation, but what kind of, as you continue on this journey, because it is a journey. And, I know sometimes we think about our wellness as, oh, I got to this point, kind of like we alluded to earlier. Oh, I got to this point, so now I'm done. Right. But what I have seen from you is that this is a lifestyle. And so what is it going to take, or what do you feel like it's going to take to continue to remember that as you continue on this journey, that this is something that continues. Right. This doesn't stop right here. This is a pivotal moment that you have stepped into, but it doesn't stop here.
Absolutely. I go back to what we talked about when I referenced James Clear, and how when something becomes a part of your identity, it is who you are. And that is exactly what this is. This is now an extension of who I am. So when people look at me and they see Shanae, they know that Shanae is into health and wellness. You know what I mean? They know that you know what I do for a living, but you know that this is a part of who I am because you've seen me and you've seen the change. Yeah. So I think that is what keeps me going, because this is who I am now. It's identity. And
this is the Shanae life, honey.
But I now have a new identity.
Yes.
That old person before that was struggling, trying to get healthy and well, I am now this person, and I'm living it, and I continue to live it. So it really has to become a part of who you are. I love that. I love that. And so, as a part of who you are, with this new book out here, tell the people where they can find the book, where they can find you now, the Shanae Life, to let them know how they can connect with you and stay connected with you, because I know that you have more amazing things that are coming in the future, and we all can't wait. Thank you so much. So this cookbook is a beginning. There are things about me that, everyone knows I'm a makeup artist, but there's so much more to me.
Yes.
I think this latest venture I'm starting, the Shanae Life, speaks to that. There are things that I love and that I'm passionate about, and that's my faith, my family, fitness, food, fun.
Yeah, come on now, the fun.
And fashion. I love, to get dressed up and gorgeous. And so the Shanae Life is just just kind of this personal brand that I wanted to house my health and wellness things that I want to do in the future underneath that brand. And so the first thing, of course, is the cookbook, which, you know, is out now.
Yes.
Indulgent Eats. These no fuss recipes helped me to lose 100 pounds. And so you can go to theShaunelife.com, SHAUNE life.com. And that's where you'll see the book. You can pre-order it. And then I have other, like, you know, shirts and things coming out. And so it's just really a lifestyle brand that I've been wanting to start. And so this is the first product under that brand.
Yes, and I'm so proud of you, sis. I'm so proud of everything you're doing and just how you're letting your light shine, how you are inspiring people, that you are motivating people to step outside of their comfort zone and really just to, you know, embrace themselves, you know, embrace themselves completely. And that's truly what this, you know, what this life is all about. Stepping into your joy. We talked about that a number of times, you know.
Things that diminish your joy in light.
Get rid of all of it.
Let all that go.
We'll leave all that back there. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So kudos to you, and thank you so much for you know, just bestowing the honor of allowing me to interview you so that you could share. Oh, so that you could just share with the world. This has been a beautiful way to close this thing out. I'm excited about everything that is to come for you. And thank you guys for tuning in, for hanging in there. You know, each and every week you guys show up, you ask questions, you give me feedback. And I thank you immensely for that. This will be our last episode for this year, but we'll be back at the top of 2021. Ooh, 2021, honey. So can we just say that? A new year, right? I know some of us are like, yay, because we ready to see this one go. And some of us are excited because we can't wait to step into it. So thank you guys, wherever you are. I hope this met you right where you are. And just remember that you can have it all. It just has to be on your terms and your time. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.